We started this month by talking about the season of creation, which is observed from September 1st to October 4th. We then seemed to veer off and talk about the Black Lives Matter issue. Today, let's briefly try to see whether there is any connection. As you can see from the title of this article, the season of creation is linked to environmental racism. Here's an excerpt from the New York Times about the topic. In 2014, as a cost-saving measure for a city in deep financial distress, officials in Flint, led by a state-appointed emergency manager, switched the city's water supply from Lake Huron to the notoriously foul Flint River. Officials failed to add corrosion controls to the tap water, investigations later found, allowing lead and other chemicals to leach from the old, worn pipes into the drinking supply. The situation has been described as environmental racism considering that the affected communities were mostly people of color. In this picture, residents of Flint, Michigan, watch a live feed of the then Governor Rick Snyder and then Environmental Protection Agency Administrator Gina McCarthy testify March 17, 2016, in Washington at House hearing on the water crisis in Flint. What's the message on their clothes? Now here's the connection with recent events. As we continue to reckon with the horrendous murders of Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd and so many other people of color, all of whom had their lives ended unjustly through abrupt violence, let us as a community of believers not lose sight of those women, men, and children of color who are subjected to a slower form of racialized violence in the form of environmental racism. While planting trees and re-evaluating our carbon footprints are worthwhile efforts, let us also focus our attention and energies in the coming weeks to thinking about and working on behalf of dismantling environmental racism in our nation and world. In doing so, we might come one step closer to embracing a true integral ecology and help ensure situations like that experienced in Flint never occur again. In the Pope's 2015 encyclical titled Laudato Si', he also gave a similar connection: the human environment and the natural environment deteriorate together. We cannot adequately combat environmental degradation unless we attend to causes related to human and social degradation. And we had seen the spiritual connection of the BLM movement.